Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the first match that we are covering of this pool in the World Sevens series. It is going to be an exciting game at LA Sevens Australia taking on Argentina. These two sides are sitting top of the tables at the moment, so all they need is a win for either side and they will be qualifying first, making their way through to the quarterfinals. But for Australia, it is Maloof, Hutchinson, Patterson, Turner, Dietrich, Roach, Matthew Gonzalez and James Turner. Then for Argentina, they have gone with Jermaine Schultz, also De La Vega, Iskro Rival in there, and surprisingly, no Marcos Maneta in that starting lineup or reserves for this one. Luciano Gonzalez, he is a beast though, and he will certainly be very dangerous. Tobias Wade in that starting lineup, and it was Sadchuk in there as well. But interestingly enough, Argentina, 5 times they have played up against Australia for their past form, and the last 2 times the Argentines have been able to get the wins, but then the 3 times before that, Argentina were defeated by Australia. And this is a massive game here to see where they do finish. It all comes down to who they want to really play in the next stage of the competition. And there will certainly be some tough contenders coming up very soon. But Paulo Duarte in charge of this 122nd match in charge. And Argentina says Talfu. And also bloody beautiful sunny day in Auckland, NZ today. Beautiful as well, says Nazi. For us, it is overcast and not looking too nice, 8 degrees and cloudy. But it's kicked off now for Argentina. It doesn't quite go to the 10. In fact, it did just drift over now. Luciano Gonzalez straight away running up. Great low tackle made on him, though. And I believe there was Josh Turner who was able to drag him down. But straight away, Argentina looking like they're going to be playing this game at a very hectic tempo. De La Vega tackled low by Matthew Gonzalez. Now, okay, there's a limp for Luciano Gonzalez. Kicked him behind by Argentina, trying a different tactic, but Nicola Maloof was able to clean it up. Now passing back across, and Fraser McRae really made a name for himself yesterday after Hooper was out. Says Xavier. Yeah, he did very nicely, Fraser McRae at number 7, scoring the 2 tries and also getting an early turnover. Another loose ball here. Argentina trying to clean it up. They just decide the best bet for it is to kick it into touch and call it a day just for now. But James Turner was right in the mix of that one. Corey Toole, Maurice Longbottom, and also Nathan Lawson, all players who are coming off the bench for the Australians this contest. Whereas for Argentina, they have got Graziano, Sabato as well. Australia, they can still win the sevens if the South Africans finish lower than 4th, which there is a good chance because South Africa may not even make it through to the quarterfinals and this one. But early to say, but it's cloudy in Melbourne at the moment, says Nathan there as well. And I think Argentina may have stalled the Aussies for long enough there that they didn't quite make that throw quick enough for line-out time. So now Argentina do get themselves the free kick. Okay, Australia need to finish 5th or lower and Fiji 2nd or lower. And Argentina needs South Africa not to make it out of the pool for them to have a chance of making it as the number 1 side in the World Sevens circuit. So there's still a chance for 4 sides out of this competition to be able to go through and win the World Sevens series for 2022. Brilliant run forward there from Rodrigo Iskro. Bounces out the back for De La Vega. Now Jermaine Schultz tries to break his way through. It's going to be a penalty for not rolling away. De La Vega takes it quickly. They've got numbers on the outside here for Los Pumas. All they need is a good pass, and Luciano Gonzalez has to clean it up. Great run forward, not able to find the offload. Instead, places it, gets it ready for a quick recycle. Jermaine Schultz uses that extra size that he's got to bump off 4 tackles. He made that look way too easy. But Argentina scored the first try of the match. An Australian tackler was bumped off, I'd say, about 3 times, and they were all individual separate tacklers. It's very impressive indeed for the Argentines, and now they do take the lead over Australia, but it was a missed low tackle from Josh Turner, a missed tackle from Patterson, a missed tackle from Gonzalez, and Jermaine Schultz goes through all of those players and manages to get himself over the try line for the first 5-pointer of the game. It should be a relatively easy kick as well, I would say, for Argentina. They can get it right. De La Vega helps set that one up. That one has gone over, so now the score is going to be 7-0 in favour of Argentina Argentina has won the past 2 meetings, but they have not defeated Australia 3 times in a row since 2012, 2013. Let's go Pumas. And Luciano Gonzalez gets that ball to sit up for him, but I believe they have said it as a knock-on. So now Australia will be able to go back. In fact, they said that it didn't quite go the 10 metres. That is why Australia, with Dietrich Roach, does get to take the quick dab, wide cut-out pass. Got some big hard runners in that back line, such as Patterson, but Rival's been able to drag him 30 now. Out from the line, Turner recycles across to Nick Maloof, hiding in the shadows at the moment down the near side of the field. It's looking like a beautiful afternoon in Los Angeles. Dietrich Roach, they've got numbers, and he does the wide cut-out pass. He's been slightly crushed, but Henry Hutchinson for the corner scores it. And now Australia back in a damn solid winning streak, says Nathan. And there as well, but that is a great try for Henry Hutchinson to get his second of Los Angeles and the first of the match for the Wallabies here, or for Australia, I should say. Dietrich Roach was just able to perfectly pass that one. He did the skip pass over the top to Henry Hutchinson, and Matt Gonzalez was on the inside if they did need him. But Henry Hutchinson, when he's that close, he gets those legs pumping, he's always going to be very tough to stop from that close out. Now the kick from wide, and it just goes away to the left. So the score will remain 5 points to Australia and 7 for Argentina. But all-time try scorers, Henry Hutchinson moving his way up the list, sitting on 105, trying to catch up with Miller, Jenkins, and Holland at the top of the list on 114. So he's actually only 10 away from being at the top of the list of all-time Australian try scorers. That's going to be knocked back onto the side of Argentina and in the hands now of De La Vega. Hutchinson manages to roll out of the way of that one. That was a 4 pass, and they have noticed it as well from the referee. And hey, says Max Bell, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well currently. Argentina, they're winning by 2 points, but they have now given away the penalty. Or in fact, the scrum feed only a little bit out from their line. 1 minute 30 left on the clock in this first half, and Argentina would love to be able to get another try at some point soon here. The same can be said about Australia. These two sides neck and neck for the World Series standings. And when's Michael Hooper returning? Any idea, says Nathan? I don't think he's really confirmed it as of yet, but hopefully it is by November that we do get to see their man back. Matthew Gonzalez now running our team use 7 of the 9 event results for the final series standings. It's the way that they have got it set out. Nick Maloof now goes across the Dietrich Road, tries to step, but Luciano Gonzalez has been able to take him down. Can Argentina will win the Rugby Championship after our biggest upset ever yesterday? They certainly can. They are top of the table after 3 rounds in the Rugby Championship. They've gone from not being able to score a singular point for the last 3 or 4 years to now being top of the bunch, getting a bonus point as well up against Australia, and now sitting on 9 points ahead with Australia. And then it goes New Zealand and South Africa. They are then the last team, but Australia sitting there. 5 points in this contest, 7 for Argentina, and Raval now with the line out throw, 40 metres out from the Australian line. Goes in nicely, taken to the front by Jermaine Schultz. Back line looking strong from Argentina. Nice inside ball there off to Asachuk. Done nicely. Now off to the right-hand side. We hear the siren sounding there, but I don't think Argentina will be too keen to kick this ball out. They will instead want to go all the way. Rodrigo Isgro gets it inside of the 22 now. One more pass, Raval. Out to now it will be Asukuch or Asuchuk. And he has gone in for another try for Argentina. And Hoops deserves a long break, always carrying the Wallabies, says Nathan in there. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he does wait till next year to come back, maybe take part in Super Rugby. But for now, I'm sure he is enjoying his layoff that he has got, just getting to enjoy a bit of free time and not having to worry about the stress of the international rugby game. That was a great run from Matthias Usachuk. Managed to make his way through and put that ball down over the line. And the Argies will take confidence from their 15s win yesterday, says Hanoi. They certainly will, but that is going to be halftime in this contest. It is now sitting 12 points to 5 in favour of Argentina. In fact, that is actually 14 points to 5. That second kick did manage to find its way over. So Argentina, they are looking to get 3 wins in a row for the first time up against Australia since 2012 and 2013. Good point, Hanoi. And this is Nazi Williams. Although, will the Australians take some as well from being able to win their game up against the Springboks? Maybe not as much. I know that Argentina are certainly a team that play with a lot of passion, and that is something we do see quite often. One moment. I will go. Oh, never mind. There we go. And also a good point, Hanoi. And there, but now 7 minutes left in this contest to decide who will get the victory. It's going to be a tightly contested second half, I would think. Australia more than likely going to score the first try, and then from there, the Pumas will have to find a way of trying to once again shut them down like they did in that first half. It was very impressive from Argentina. Okay, just one bounce I heard from Henry Hutchinson. So I believe he is talking about maybe just getting those guys a little bit closer when it comes to that back line, trying to link up. Now, Jermaine Schultz, he's looking fired up, though. He wants to walk out without the rest of the team. He's like, right, I'm ready. I'll get this game underway, and you boys just go over there, and we'll hang out for a little while after the game after I've won it for us. Jermaine Schultz, certainly a beast out on the field. Same with Joaquin de la Vega, Rodrigo Isgro, Gaston Ravel, all still out there on the park. And Luciano Gonzalez. I've loved watching what I've seen from him. And this Vietnam Trips Acid good, bro, says Nazi Williams in there. Those Trips / Acid good, bro. Not sure about those ones. And also, do you think Paul C and D for the 23 World Cup got a bit more respect now, says Hanoi? Well, I think we're starting to learn that no matter what happens, Gonzalez going forward. But like we're seeing World Rugby get more and more even as we get closer to the World Cup, which I think is terrific, because I want it to be that there could be 10 teams that could win the World Cup when we get to it, because that would just be one of those ones that you never quite know what's going to happen. Like all those top sides, I'd love to see a bit more development from Fiji in the union side of things. Wales, I'd like to see them find a bit more form heading into the next Six Nations just to make that a bit closer, and then have a few of those other sides continue to improve, such as Samoa. They are looking very good at the moment, and they are actually in the same group as England, Argentina, and Japan, I believe it is, in that group. Corey Toole now making his way out onto the field. Currently, the way that the table would be sitting would have Argentina in first, and Australia, they would be sitting in second. Ball fed in, a little bit of a mistake there. And Matt Gonzalez tries to take the quick tap, but he wasn't quite from the mark. So 6 minutes left of this contest. Australia have got about 90 metres to go down the field if they do want to get themselves the try. Matthew Gonzalez take the quick tap. Gets us back underway, smashing Wallabies last week. Now ABs, Michael Chicken, David Kipwell changing direction to improve Argentina rugby. And I just stick to the green stuff, says Hanoi. Now Corey Toole has had to clean up. It's gone back and another knock on against Argentina. This is using up more time. They won't mind this. They are deep inside of the Aussies 22. As long as they can keep them down that end of the field for the next 2 or so minutes. Maurice Longbottom, I see now, is coming out onto the park for the Australians. Maybe he could be a game changer for them. But our next live stream, I should mention, is going to be coming up at about 10:59. But I think we are starting at 10:55. In fact, with the times that they are going at the moment, I think they're running slightly behind. So we may end up seeing that one start at 11. But that is New Zealand versus South Africa. You certainly do not want to miss that game, as it is going to be an absolutely awesome encounter. That ball's going to be just curving into touch off the long kick from Australia. Now Argentina have got themselves the line out. Then the next 2 games after that we are going to be covering, we have got New Zealand versus South Africa, like I mentioned, Samoa versus England, and then Fiji versus Ireland is the last game of the day that we are covering. Cheika is doing well. That he doesn't feel the pressure to pick out of all his out-of-form Waratahs favourites. He has a fresh slate, and now just picks the best players, and no wonder. Teenage comments, says Nathan. And also we have got no suit and tie today, says Bevan. Not for today. It is currently still sitting on the couch from last night, but we have been doing plenty of these Sevens live stream. We're up to live stream number 7 out of the 10 that we are doing these ones, and also a bit of cricket earlier on in the day as well. Good run forward from, it was Osad Suk. Now just outside of the 22. Argentina, another good attacking opportunity. Schultz goes on the outside. Now trying to get himself. Oh, he's just stayed in the field of play, but it's gone back to Henry Hutchison. Finds the offload. Nick Maloof with the quick hands. Dietrich Roach cleans up. Now wide. Slinging past to Corey Toole. And that man has scored a lot of tries in the career. And now hasn't found the pass that he needed, though. Now he's found it to Josh Turner. There's so much space. And Dietrich Roach will have the option of just running that one in all. It's an awkward fall, but in the end, he's just managed to get it down. And Hamish, what time are you streaming tonight, says Nathan. So I believe the first game that we are going to be covering on the schedule, we were considering doing the cricket, but I thought I was going to be asleep throughout that time. And now we've learned the cricket isn't actually going that long. So more than likely it will be the 5:10 a.m. game for the quarterfinal. I was casual to put the ball down. He waited a little bit long. Almost got himself in a bit of trouble there for Dietrich Roach. Let's go Australia, says Brandon, and now they are back into the contest. I believe that will be the first game, the quarterfinal at 5:13 a.m. And then after that, we have got the second quarterfinal, third quarterfinal, and the fourth. And then the next games, I believe, will be probably at 8:25. So a couple hours break in there. So more than likely during that time, we will probably film our preview of one of those big matches that are making their way onto the World Sevens circuit. But Dietrich Roach, he's had the most series points with 304. Speaking of 304, there is 304 left on the clock currently. That is kind of weird how perfectly that ended up being. Australia sitting on 12 points. Argentina sitting on the 14. This game could be another one going down to the wire, trying to slap that back. Josh Turner, it doesn't work for him though. Didn't quite get the hand to it far enough. Now Argentina, they've got this one, Luciano Gonzalez going down the short side. He's just a freight train. No one seems to be able to stop him. Now moving up to the halfway line. It's loose from Argentina, though. A little bit of a mistake. Sorry, now Maurice Longbottom, lured in defender. It's going to be a pass off to Corey Toole. He wasn't quite able to clean it up clean. Or pick it up clean, I should say. I feel like my brain is starting to slightly not work the way that it was. And as that pool match, New Zealand versus Box, says, and cheers, my guy. We'll see you then. Start work 7 a.m. I'll be there. Says Nathan. And there's also, look forward to seeing you there. Springboks versus All Blacks, 7 and 25 minutes. Says Brandon, and it is going to be a massive game when those two sides do face off. Now, Corey Toole, ball on the outside. He was hit extremely late there. That's going to be a late penalty, maybe even a yellow card. Maurice Longbottom, though, goes in and will score the try for Australia. They now take the lead. And now with a nice easy kick straight out in front, I believe more than likely this will end up as 19 points to 14 in favour of the Australians. It was hit extremely hard in the tackle by, I believe that was Franco Sabato. A little bit of a cheap shot from Argentina for that one. Probably a little bit lucky to get away with it. But Maurice Longbottom does manage to score the try for Australia. Jeez, he accelerated well there for Maurice Longbottom. Puts the ball down. And like I mentioned, they have got a nice easy kick out in front. 19 points to 14 now. The score will be sitting with only another minute and 10 seconds left. And you got one kind of special / gifted brain to go this long. Couldn't even last 5 minutes of what you're doing, Lowell says Nazi Williams. And also, Hamish, dude, you are an absolute machine. You're still going and watch the Australia-South Africa game with you this morning, says Pip. So yeah, since that game we have done quite a few. We did a little bit of the cricket, South Africa versus England. We did a couple hours of that. We also did a post-match review added in there for Australia and Argentina. We did our New Zealand live stream for the New Zealand versus Argentina and South Africa Wallabies, I meant, for the post-match review, and then quite a few sevens to close it out. We're going to get a short little stint of sleep of about 3 hours. Then George is coming round and we are going out for tea. And then after that, I'll be coming home, sleeping again, doing the live streams from 5 a.m. tonight. So yeah, bit busy. Don't let Australia win. That Brumbies fella might get excited. Yeah, Master Mal, of course. He's a big fan of them, isn't he? But this is going to be the scrum fee for Argentina with 3 seconds left on the clock now. It's Springboks Sevens versus All Black Sevens and 11 a.m., says Brandon. So yeah, not too far off from that game taking place. Should be exciting. KFC with the big man, says Pip. And there, I like how I said going out for tea, and you guys straight away from that last live stream know we're just going to KFC. I'll probably fall asleep in the car on the way, to be fair. Luckily, I'm not driving, I should mention. Luckily, George will be the operator of the vehicle, as it's probably not the best idea to drive after getting like 3 hours sleep in 36 hours. Now, Gonzalo, it's being dropped. And Argentina, they will be disappointed with that one, but that now means Australia have been able to get themselves this win, 19 points to 14 over the Argentines. But thank you all very much for being here. Like I mentioned, the next live stream that we are doing, it is going to be the one taking place at 11 o'clock or just a little bit beforehand. That is New Zealand taking on South Africa, and what should be a very entertaining game. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all